Hi, welcome to the Floor Barre Pilates practice. Ballet influenced or even based on ballet, a little bit of yoga in there too. I really see this as part of the mind body wellness family of workouts. Some great detailed moves working with some deeper muscle groups and isolation, elongation. Perfect for dancers as well as anyone looking to add some grace to their movements, body awareness, and control. A pleasantly strengthening Pilates workout floor bar practice. Let's get started. Let's start from the back. So lie on your back, bend your knees, feet are about hip distance apart, arms down by your side, palms facing down. Find your neutral spine first, and then start to press the lower back down, tailbone between your sit bones, and rolling up just a little. Really articulating. Now releasing vertebra by vertebra, tailbone down, the really last neutral spine. Again, tailbone under, press the lower back down, start to roll up, only halfway. And again, rolling down, really articulating, tail down, the really last. Keep going. Every time you can come up a little higher. Shoulders relaxed on the floor. Start to activate your hamstrings as well, really pressing the heels down while you lift your hips up. Activating your glutes, rolling through the spine. Neck long, keep going. Little by little, you start to reach your bridge pose, bringing the hips up to get the hip flexors straight. Couple more. Pressing the heels down. And then next time, when you get up, stay there. Try to lengthen your hip flexors. Really pressing the heels down, sending the knees forward. Stay up here. Now turn your toes out, heels out, so your feet are a little wider. Lift your hips and squeeze your glutes. Now turn your heels in first, toes in, back to a little bit more narrow stand, and lift your hips up. Turn your toes out, heels out, squeeze and lift. Heels in, toes in, squeeze and lift. Toes out, heels out, squeeze and lift. Heels in, toes in, lift. Send the knees in front of you. Keep going. Toes out, heels out, knees pointing forward to lift. Heels in, toes in, squeeze and lift. Toes out, heels out, lift. Heels in, toes in, and lift. Let's do one more. Toes out, heels out, and lift. Heels in, toes in, and lift. And then really slowly roll down vertebra by the vertebra, tail down, the really last. Nice. You can extend your legs pointing up to the ceiling, shake a little. And then we start to articulate the feet. So feet together, legs together, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Really point your ankles, point your toes. Gently pressing the lower back down. Now start to flex your toes. Keep the ankles pointed. And then flex your ankles as well. Heels pointing up. Now extend, point your ankles first. And then your toes. Again. Flex your toes. Flex your ankles. Point your ankles and your toes, knees extended. Keep going. Separating your toes and then your ankles. Point your ankles and your toes. So now pressing the ball of the foot up, then your heels, balls of your feet and your toes. Couple more. Flex your toes, your ankles, point your ankles and your toes. Let's do the same thing in turn out. So start to turn from your hips, inner thighs facing you. Same thing. Press your toes, then your ankles. Point your ankles and your toes, pressing the lower back down. Flex your toes and your ankles. Point your ankles and your toes. Flex your toes. Heels up. Balls of your feet up. And your toes. Couple more. And flex. Point and point. One more flex and flex and point and point. Nice. Shake a little. Again, bring your feet down. Feet are hip distance apart, knees pointing up to the ceiling. Maybe make sure that you can reach your heels with your fingers so the heels are close enough. And then lift your hips up. This time we stay here and we're just gonna lift the heels up. Now lift your heels up. Really press the big toe mounts down. Make sure the ankles remain straight and lower the heels. Lift the heels up. Really press your heels forward. Weight on the big toe mount, second toe mount, and heels down. Lift up. Press the heels out and forward. Lower down and keep going. Just making sure we don't bring the weight too much to the outside. So you always want to make sure the weight is on the big toe mount, second toe mount. Just lifting your heels up, pressing them out and forward, and then lower down. Activate your hamstrings. Lengthen the front side of your body. Shoulders release on the floor. Neck long. Couple more. And lift. Lower. Let's do two more. Lift. Press out. Lower. Lift. Lower. And then really slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. Nice. Once again, extend your legs. You can shake a little. And then flex your ankles. Start to turn out. Again, toes pointing out, inner thighs rotating forward. Now bring the right heel in front of the left heel and bend your knees to the side. You can bring the legs down halfway and then start to roll through the feet, again pointing the ankles and then your toes. Keep this outer rotation. Knees stay in the same spot, just extending your legs. Flex your feet, knees stay. Just bring the heels in, now the left in front of the right. Again, point your ankles, then your toes. Knees are staying, extending the toes out to the side. Keep this outer rotation, inner thighs rotating forward. Flex your ankles, bend your knees, right heel in front of the left. Point your ankles, then your toes. Extend your knees. Flex your ankles and now the left heel in front of the right. So your thigh bones are staying in the same spot. Flex, just bending the heels in and really outer rotating. Point, point, extend your knees, flex your ankles and bend your knees. Again, point, point, extend, flex and bend. Point, point, extend, flex and bend. Point, point, extend, flex and bend. Two more. Point, point, extend, flex and bend. point, point, extend, flex, and bend, and shake. Shake your legs. And then release. Extend your legs in front of you. And now just bend your right knee. So your right shin is parallel to the floor, 90-degree angle on your right knee. You can bring the right hand inside your right knee to keep the knee in the same spot and start to bring the right heel a little closer to your left shoulder, really auto-rotating. And back to parallel line. Again, auto-rotating, heel closer to the opposite shoulder. Your thigh bone stays in the same place, same spot. Parallel, so auto-rotating. Back to parallel, couple more. Really work hard. Try to bring the heel as close to your left shoulder as you can, keeping the 90-degree on your right knee. Let's do 2 more. And parallel. Auto rotation. Parallel. Nice. Release the right leg down. Now bend your left knee. 90-degree angle, shin parallel to the floor. You can bring the left hand inside the left knee to keep the knee in the space. And then start to auto-rotate the right heel closer, or left heel better, closer to your right shoulder. And back to parallel line. Again, find this auto-rotation. And bring it in. Nice. Really make your own resistance. Just auto-rotating from the hip. 2 more. Last one. Nice. And release. Now you can open your arms a little more, diagonally down, pressing the hands down. And then find auto rotation from your hips again. And then let's bring the right on top of the left, gently. Start to extend your right toes up to the ceiling. Keep this auto rotation from your hips. Start to make circles. Bring the right leg down, open to the side, and back to the center. Only do as big circles as you can keep your hips still. Really using your core. Shoulders remain on the floor. Just your leg is moving. 1 more. And then circle the other way around. Slight auto rotation. Keep pressing the left leg down. 2 more. Nice. Let's go the other way around. First, extend your legs. Now bring the left on top of your right, so your legs are right underneath you in the center line. Pointing the left toes up to the ceiling and start to make circles. Lower the left leg down, open to the side, and back to the center. You can press your hands down, the back of your shoulders down, back of your head down, and really stabilize with your core. Only draw as big circles as you can keep the body still. Only your leg is moving. Let's do 1 more. And then the other direction. Circle around. Pressing the right leg down as well. Attachment point with the floor. Hug your ribs in. You always get a good support from your corset. Let's do 1 more. Nice. You can keep your left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Just scissor your legs. Right leg up, left leg down. And keep going. You can lift the lower leg hovering off the floor. Just scissor your legs. Pressing the lower back down. Back of your shoulders down. Back of your head down. Now let's go right leg closer to you, left leg extending away from you. Chains, change. And now circle the legs to the side, the chains. Left leg is closer to your face now. Go again, right and left and right. Circle from the side to change. And right and left and right to circle around. Keep pressing the lower back down. Right and left and right. Half circle to change. And right and left and right. Half circle to change. Now it's the left leg closer to you. Right leg extending away from you. So the left, right, left, half circle to change. Keep going. Left and right, left, circle around, left, right. Keep the slight outer rotation going on. Couple more. Left, right, left, circle around. Last one. And circle around. Nice. Hug the knees into your chest. You can rock and roll from side to side to release for a moment. And then extend the legs down. Again, find this slight outer rotation. So inner thighs opening up to the ceiling. You can open your arms diagonally down, pressing the hands, the back of your shoulders down. Once again, let's bring the right on top of the left, so the legs are right underneath you in the center line, outer rotate it, and then extend your right toes up to the ceiling. Now, start to bend your right knee to the side. Try to bring the heel closer to your face and bringing the knee away from your face. And extend. In ballet, this is called attitude. So you try to open the knee, bring the heel closer to your face, and extend. It's a slight bend, outer rotating, keeping the left hip on the floor. Really working those outer rotation muscles, your deep core, isolating, toes pointed. A couple more. Knee away from you, heel closer to you. And last one. Nice. Release the right leg down. And now the left on top of the right, legs in the center line. Point your left toes up to the ceiling. And same thing here. Bend your knee to the side. Bring the heel closer to your face. And extend. And bend. Extend, like really outer rotating. Keep pressing the right hip down, right leg down. So the right leg or the right side of your body stays long on the floor. Working your attitude. Let's do a couple more. Find the connection to your core as well. And last one. Nice. Release. Now, extend your right toes up to the ceiling. Find your attitude. And then start to reach your fingers forward. You can turn the palms facing up. Start to lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Really press the lower back down. Hover the left leg off the floor and change your legs. Extend your right, attitude your left. So knee to the side. Keep switching. Reaching the fingers forward, shoulders away from the ears. Try to hover the shoulder blades off the floor. Keep the lower back on the floor. Toes pointed. Legs outer rotated. And just changing left to right. Left to right. Feel more. Find your core. Let's do 4 more. And change. Last 2. And change. Nice. Extend your both legs up to the ceiling. Keep it outer rotated. Reach your legs 45-degree down. Keep reaching your fingers forward and maybe find your way all the way up. Extending your fingers past your toes. Open your heart. Turn the palms facing up. Outer rotate your legs. Hold here. Try to lengthen the lower back. Try to broaden your collarbones. Lengthen the back of your neck. Point your toes. Point your ankles. Outer rotate your shoulders, your legs. Release. Nice. Hug the knees into your chest. You can tilt your head a little side to side, and then turn around and find your all fours. Spread the fingers wide, hands right under your shoulders. Neutral spine. Let's do a couple of cat-cows here actually to start with. So start to melt your heart, open your chest, look forward, widen your sit bones, arch your spine. And exhale, press the hands down, tuck the tailbone under, round your spine. Inhale, open your heart, open your shoulders. Exhale, connect to your core, round your spine. Really spread the fingers wide so we can spread the weight even, so we don't get too much pressure on the wrist. Tailbone under. Couple more, just finding your ground. And last one, inhale, melt your heart, open. Exhale, connect your core and round. Come back into your neutral spine. Now bring your knees together, toes together. Start to extend your right leg back behind you. Lift it parallel to the floor. And now auto rotate. So the ballet team, we wanna auto rotate, keeping the hips level toe. Start to bend your right knee underneath you and cross. Can you tap the right knee to your left elbow, keeping the weight even on your hands? And again, extend the leg behind you, auto rotation, and lift up without lifting the right hip up. Again, cross underneath you, tap the left elbow, and extend behind you, lower belly in, auto rotation. Again, crossing underneath you, tap the knee to your opposite elbow, and find your arabesque behind you. So auto rotation without lifting the hip. Again, cross underneath you. You can round the upper back a little. And extend, lift, keep auto rotated. And cross underneath you. Shoulders stay really still. To your arabesque. And let's do one more. Cross underneath you. Extend and lift. Now, lift the right leg behind you. Keep it auto rotated. Keep the thigh in space, again, knee in space. To start to bend the heel behind you. You want to bring the right heel closer to your left shoulder, thigh parallel to the floor, and extend. So you want to cross behind you. Try not to drop the right knee down. Working towards the attitude once again. So lifting the right knee up and just bending the heel behind you towards the left shoulder. Lower belly in. Extend. Bend. Extend. Two more. Bend. Extend. And bend. Shoulders really still. Extend. And release the right knee down. Knees together, toes together. This time extend the left leg behind you, lift it parallel to the floor, and again auto rotate, but try to keep the hips leveled. Lift it a little, and then cross the knee underneath you to tap the right elbow. You can round the upper back a little. Shoulders stay in top of your wrist. Again, lift behind you, auto rotate, and cross the knee underneath your belly. To your arabesque, lengthen the back of your neck, and cross underneath you. Just the leg is moving. Try to stabilize your body. Otherwise, again, outer rotation without lifting the left hip. Cross underneath. Last one. And cross the knee underneath you. Extend the left leg back behind you to your arabesque. You can lift a little. Try to keep the thigh in place, knee in place, just bending the heel behind you, keeping the thigh parallel to the floor. So the heel closer to your right shoulder. And extend back into your arabesque. Attitude behind you. Keep the thigh lifted parallel to the floor. Don't let the left knee drop down. Weight even on your hands. Shoulders really square. Keep enough weight on the left hand too. So keep bending the heel in and extending without dropping the left knee down. Keep the thigh lifted parallel to the floor. 2 more. And bend. Extend. Nice. And lower down. You can bring the weight back into your heels and shake your hands a little. Maybe stretching the wrist the opposite way. When the weight is on the hands, we are flexing. So now we want to extend the wrist as a counter stretch. Nice. Find your way back into your all fours again. Knees together, toes together. And then you can bring your heels slightly over to your right. So slightly heels, toes over to your right. And then start to shift the body weight onto your right hand, the right knee. Hover the left knee off the floor, left fingers off the floor. Around the left fingers in, like in your first position. And then start to lift the left knee up to the ceiling. Extend your fingers up to the ceiling. Bend the knee in, round the fingers in. Again, open the knee. Extend. Bend. And bring in. When you open, push your hips forward. Extend. Bend. And in. Try to work behind your legs, really pushing the hips forward, outer rotating. Bend and in. Open. Extend. Bend and in. Couple more. Open. Extend. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. Extend. Bend and in. Let's do one more. Extend. Bend and in. Nice. Then we have the other side to go. Knees together, toes together. Bring the heels, the toes slightly over to your left. Now the weight is on the left hand, the left knee. I'm gonna be back facing you, but that's all right. So round your right fingers in. Float the right knee off the floor. Start to outer rotate. Push your hips forward. Extend. Bend. And in. Really work pushing your hips forward. Activating the left glute. Bend. And in. Open. Extend up to the ceiling. Bend and in. Strong left shoulder as well. Really pressing the left hand, left knee, left shin down. And in. Keep going. Open. Extend. Bend and in. Free neck. Extend. Bend. Last one. Bend and in. Nice. Come back into all fours. You can open your knees hip distance apart and move your hips little side to side. Side to side. And now let's find a plank pose. So make sure the hands are right under your shoulders. Extend the knees, toes under. Find your plank pose. Lengthen the back of your neck. Really hug your ribs in. Press the space between your shoulder blades up to the ceiling, but lengthen the lower back. Navel in and up to your spine. You can bring your toes together, heels together. And first, let's just point your right toes and lift the right leg up. Once again, you can try to find this arabesque alignment, so turning out from your hip without lifting the hip up. Lower the right leg down and lift up and lower. Try not to compensate from your lower back. So just lifting the left leg, keeping the hips really square, lower back neutral. Nice, 2 more. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Other side. Find your spine alignment. Point your left toes, outer rotate and lift. Try not to lift the left hip. Just stabilizing through the length to lift and lower. Strong shoulders, strong core. Hugging the ribs in. Long back of your neck. 2 more. And lower. And lift. And lower. Nice. Release the knees down. Let's take a quick stretch in between. You can walk your hands forward. Maybe grab the front edge of your mat and start to lean the chest back. You can bring your forehead down or you can bring your chest down. Make sure the hips stay on top of your knees. And take a few inhales and exhales here. Send it between your shoulder blades. And slowly, once you're ready, start to release. Walk your hands back under your shoulders and take a couple of soft cat-cows here. Inhale to gently arch. Think more of your upper back, heart forward. And exhale, really round your whole spine, tailbone under. Inhale, just your upper back, heart forward, shoulders back. And exhale, round the whole spine. One more inhale. And exhale. And come back into neutral spine. And find your plank pose once again. You can bring your toes together, heels together. And then, again, lighten the right toes off the floor, point. Find outer rotation. Draw your toes all the way up to your knee, behind the knee. Keep the knee pointing out to the side and then extend your right toes out. Bend and draw the line all the way back. So, passe to the side. Extend, bend, and extend. 2 more. Keep this outer rotation. Try to stabilize the body otherwise. Weight even on your hands. Extend, bend, and back to both feet. Let's go right away to the other side. Lighten the left toes off the floor, outer rotate, and then draw the toes all the way up behind your knee. Extend your toes out to the side. Bend and extend. Again, bend the knee to the side. Extend, bend, behind. 2 more. Extend, bend, behind. Last one. Extend, bend, release. Knees down. Again, bring the body weight back. Shake your hands a little. Take a quick counter stretch. A little bit weight on the hands too. Really to strengthen the wrist as well. Let's do one more in side plank. Feel free, if your wrists are really sore, feel free to do all from modified side plank. So the hand and the knee in line, or you can always come down to your forearm as well and work from here. So you always have the options. If your wrists are really sore already, come to your forearm, your knee, or your hand and your knee, modified side plank, or find your full side plank. So if you come to a full side plank, start to extend your legs and now really try to ground We are on the right hand side, so right hand on the floor, right leg extended. Try to ground the right big toe mount down if you can. That's gonna help you a little. So you can walk the foot a little bit closer to your hand and lift your hips up a little higher to try to press the right big toe mount down. And then extend your left toes. Now we wanna find the passe again. So bringing the toes to your knee, keep the knee pointing up to the ceiling, and then we try to open to the développé. Again, toes in around your arm, and now extending the toes in front of you in outer rotation. Bring the toes in, and this time we're gonna extend the toes really slightly behind, trying to keep the hip alignment, extending the fingers to the diagonal corner. Again, passe, knee pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your toes up and bend. Extend your toes forward and bend. Really slight diagonal back, fingers reaching the opposite corner. And passe. One more. Développé to the side. And bend. To the front. And bend. Diagonally back arabesque. And bend. And release. Come back into your all fours. Move your hips to side to side. I'm actually gonna turn the other way around, so I'm not gonna be back facing you for the other side. Same thing, the other side. Remember, you have the option in your forearm and the knee, or the modified side plank, hand and the knee, or find your full side plank, really challenging one. So here it helps you when you walk the foot a little closer to your hand, lift your hips up a little higher, and try to press the big toe mount down as well. Left hand down, left foot down, or left knee down. And again, let's try to find the passe first. So toes to your knee pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your toes up so the leg is on your side. And bend. Now extend your toes forward, outer rotation. And bend. Now extending slightly behind you. Try to keep the hips leveled, reaching the fingers to the opposite direction. Bend the knee in. Again, développé to the side. And bend. In front of you. And bend. Slightly behind you diagonally. And bend. One more round. Développé to the side. Bend. Développé in front of you. Almost lost it there. And bend. And mini arabesque behind you. And bend. Nice. And find your way back into your all fours. Move your hips, your shoulders side to side. Side to side. Now come down, lie on your belly once again. And then start to turn onto your right hand side. So extend your right fingers overhead and turn onto your right hand side. Find your outer rotation. So again, inner thighs rotating forward. And make sure to activate the right side of your body. So try to hover the lowest ribs off the floor, really making that little space underneath the right side of your body. So really hovering the ribs off the floor. Nice. Left hand can be in front of you as a support, and then start to draw again a line with your toes, bringing the left toes up to your right knee, left knee pointing up to the ceiling. This outer rotation. Start to extend your left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Find your balance here and extend your left fingers up to the ceiling as well. Leg is on your side. Now start to bring the left toes in front of you. Start to bring your left fingers behind you. Follow with your eyes. Look behind you. Now back to the center. Find this outer rotation, inner thighs forward. Now bring the left toes behind you, left fingers diagonally in front of you. Find the long diagonal line. And back to the center again, inner thighs forward. Toes behind you, fingers, toes in front of you, fingers behind you better. And back to the center, outer rotation. Now the opposite directions, toes behind you, fingers reaching forward, diagonal line. And back to the center. Couple more. Really controlling. And feel the stretch here, opposite directions. Back to the center. One more, outer rotation all the time from your hips. And last one, diagonally behind you, reaching the fingers to the opposite direction. Nice. One more time, extending your toes and your fingers, pointing up to the ceiling. Bring the left hand down, fingers on the floor. Bend your left knee. And then turn the left knee in. Open, keep the left hip down. Just bring the knee up closer to your shoulder. Again, toes down to your knee. Parallel, outer rotation, lift and lower. Parallel, outer rotation, lift and lower. Maybe hovering the right leg off the floor. Parallel, outer rotation, lift and lower. Parallel, outer rotation, lift and lower. One more, outer rotation, lift and lower. Nice. Now, extend your left leg next to your right. Keep the outer rotation. Both legs floating off the floor. Bring the left leg parallel to the floor. And now only your right leg is moving down and up. Down. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. 4 more. Lower and lift. 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs together. Lower and lift. Parallel. Line with the floor. Zipping the lower belly in and up. Make sure the legs are slightly in front of you. If you look down, you can always see your toes. Really working your side core. Nice. 4 more. And lift. 3. And lift. 2. And lift. Last one. And lift. Nice. Release the legs all the way down. And then turn onto your back. Still working on the same side. Once again, outer rotate your legs, point your toes, and extend your left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your right arm over your head, so diagonally, so you can turn the palm facing down and you have a good support from your right hand. We're gonna start to turn over to the right side. So think like your left leg is staying in the same spot. Point your toes. Now start to turn onto your right hand side. So the leg is now on your side. And then start to bring the leg behind you. Reach your fingers to the opposite corner. Try to keep the left hip on top of your right. Again, just find this diagonal line. Again, bring the left leg to the side, outer rotation, and with the control, turn onto your back so the leg is now in front of you. Start to turn onto your right hand side. Leg is on your side. Extend the leg slightly behind you. Left fingers reaching to the opposite corner. And then bring the leg to the side. Inner thighs forward. And with the control, lower all the way down onto your back. Leg in front of you. Turn onto your right hand side. Use your core. Control. Bring the left leg behind you, arabesque. Bring fingers reaching to the opposite diagonal. Leg back to the side. And back onto your back. One more. Left leg stays. Just turning onto your right hand side. Diagonal line. Reach. Left leg on the side. And then with the control, lower all the way down onto your back. Nice. Hug the knees in. rock and roll, a little side to side, and then we're gonna work the other side. I'm just gonna turn the other way around so I'm not back facing you. How did we start? So come to your left hand side, extend the left fingers over your head, turn the palm facing down. So you have a support from your left hand. Extend the legs underneath you, outer rotate. And then start to extend your right toes pointing up to the ceiling, turning the inner thighs forward, reaching the right fingers up to the ceiling as well. Now, toes in front of you, fingers behind you. Follow your fingers. Back to the center, find the outer rotation, inner thighs forward. Now find this diagonal line, leg behind you, fingers reaching to the opposite corner. And again, outer rotation. Leg arm on the side, extending toes forward, fingers back. Back to the center. Find the opposite corners. Back to the center. Again. Return. Leg behind you, fingers reaching forward. Back to the center. Let's do one more. Find your twist. Back to the center. And the opposite corners. Back to the center. Nice. Bring the right fingers in front of you. Bend your right knee so the right toes are touching the left knee. Bring the knee in, parallel line. External rotation. And bring the knee closer to your shoulder. Try to keep the right hip down. Again, lower, parallel, outer rotation, and lift. Lower, knee in, out, and lift. Maybe floating the left leg off the floor. Knee in, and out, lift, and lower. Parallel, outer rotation, lift, and lower. One more. Lift and lower. Now extend your right leg as well. Both legs together, floating off the floor. And then only the left leg, lower down and lift. Right leg remains parallel to the floor. And lift. Use your inner thighs. Can you still hover the left ribs off the floor? Find this activation. Both sides of the body. Let's do 4 more. And 3, 2, 1. Legs together. Lower and lift. Remember, you must see your toes in front of you if you look down. Always lifting the lower belly. In and up. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. Nice. And now start to turn onto your back. Turn onto your back. Legs outer rotated. And extend your right toes pointing up to the ceiling. Left arm over your head, diagonally. So the palm is facing down. You have the support from your left hand, left arm again. And then we start to turn onto the left hand side this time. Try to keep the right leg in the same spot. So in the end, the leg is gonna be on your side. Now bring the toes behind you, fingers in front of you. Find the diagonal line. Try to keep the right hip on top of your left. Bring your toes, fingers pointing up to the ceiling, and then turn onto your back. Right leg in front of you. Again, reach your toes up. Find the coordination. Leg behind you. Reach diagonally to your arabesque. A la second, leg on the side. And then back onto your back. Again, use your core. Strong center. Body control. Starts with the mind control. And back onto your back. One more. To the side. Extend back. To the side. And slowly lower all the way onto your back. Nice. Hug the knees in. Rock and roll, little side to side. Side to side. I'm gonna swap to the other side again. We're gonna go back to the right hand side. So lie on your right hand side. This time bend your knees, 90-degree angled, and then make sure the heels are behind you. So if you look down, your knees are right below your hips. So your knees, hips, and shoulders, one straight line. Your hip flexors are straight, and you bend the heels behind you. 90-degree angle on your knees. And now start to lift the left. Keep the toes together and lower down. Really working those deep turnout muscles behind your legs. Deep underneath your glutes. So really keep the hip flexor straight, pushing the hips forward, just lifting the left knee and lower. Let's do 4 more and lower. And 3, remain long from the front. 2 and last one. Nice. Now bring the knees more in front of you and come up to your elbow. So fingers facing forward, right elbow right under your shoulder, knees in front of you this time. So if you look down now, the heels are right below your hips. Around your fingers into your first position, and then start to lift your hips up, open the knee, and bring the knees together, hips down. Again, open the knee, push your hips forward, and lower, and open. Strong right shoulder as well. Open, and lower. Let's do 4 more. Push your hips forward here, a little extra. So you really want to open the front side of your body, and lower. 2 more, and lower. Last 1, and lower. Bring the hips down, let fingers down as well. And now lift your heels up. Now your right leg stays. Again, just open the left knee and bring it down. And open. Make sure the right shoulder is away from the ear. Again, working your turnout. Find the connection to your pelvic floor as well. Let's do 4 more. Open. Lower. Long free neck. 2 more. And last 1. Nice. Yeah, release. Let's swap to the other side. So this time, lie on your left hand side. Now bring the heels behind you. Knees bend 90-degree. And make sure when you look down, your hips, your knees, and your shoulders, one straight line. Your hip flexors are really straight. Push your hips forward a little extra. And just start to open the right knee, toes together, and lower. And open. And lower. Work behind your legs. Push your hips forward a little. Really deep turnout. 4 more. And 3. 2. Last 1. And lower. This time bring the knees in front of you and come up to your elbow, your forearm. Left shoulder right above your elbow. Right fingers in front of you. And then we're gonna lift the hips up and auto rotate. Right knee opens and lower the hips, knees together. Again, push your hips forward a little extra and lower. Keep the neck long, left shoulder away from the ear. Really push your hips forward and lower. 4 more and lower. And 3 and lower. 2 and last one, and lower. Nice. Now lift your heels up, left leg stays. Just open the right knee and bring the knees together. And open and lower. Again, make sure the neck is long. We don't collapse to the left shoulder. 4 more. Open. And 3, 2, and 1. Release. Nice. Lie all the way down onto your belly. I keep swapping side to side, so I'm not gonna be back facing you. So lie on your belly. Let's work the posterior chain a little more turnout. So first bend your elbows to the side. You can either bring your forehead all the way down, or you can keep your forehead floating off the floor. Just make sure to lengthen the back of your neck. Shoulders relaxed down. Open your legs hip distance apart and really activate your legs. This time you don't want to auto rotate quite yet. Turn your inner thighs pointing up to the ceiling. Really press the top of your feet down. If you have hyperextension on your knees may lift off the floor, but it's okay for now because we don't have any weight on the legs. Just make sure to engage your knees as well. Start to float the legs off the floor, hip width apart. Keep the legs, thighs floating off the floor. Just bend your knees, 90-degree angle on your knees. And once again, we want to keep the thigh bones, the knees in the same spot. So start to bring your heels in to squeeze the heels together. And then open. Bring the feet, heels together. And open. Keep lifting your thighs, floating your knees off the floor. And really working, once again, those deep turnout muscles. Really working behind your legs. You might even find your hamstrings cramping here. I do so right now. So just keep working, lifting the knees, thighs off the floor, squeezing the heels together, and open. Heels together. And open. So outer rotating, finding the parallel line. Outer rotation, parallel. Small movement, but even more effective one. Let's do a couple more. 3, 2, and last one. Release the knees down, extend your legs, release your forehead down, and just move your hips side to side to release the lower back. And next one, we're gonna work with coupe. It's a coupe exercise. If you're a ballet dancer, you know what am I talking about? If not, that's all right. It's a tricky one. So you don't need to float the legs off the floor really high. So start to find outer rotation once again. This is like Pilates V. You want to bring the heels together, open your toes a little, point your toes, point your ankles, float the legs off the floor just a little. Now lift your right leg a little higher and then start to bend your right knee to the side. You want to open the knee up, bring the heel down, bend just a little and see if you can lift the left leg to meet your right. Extend and lower both, just floating off the floor. Now lift the left leg a little higher, start to bend the knee to the side. So you want to lift the knee up, bring the heel down, and maybe to lift the right leg to meet your left. Extend and lower both. Right leg a little higher, find your coupe behind, and lift the left leg to meet. Extend and lower. Lift the left leg a little higher, open the knee to the side, heel down, lift the right leg to meet your left, extend, lower both. Again, right leg higher, open the knee, heel down, left leg lifts, and lower both. Lift the left, knee to the side, heel down, right leg up, extend, and lower. One more, right leg a little higher, find your coupe, outer rotation, left leg up, extend, lower both. Left leg a little higher. Outer rotation. Right leg lifts. Lower and release all the way down. Push yourself to your child's pose for a moment to release the lower back. Hips down to your heels. Move your hips little side to side. Side to side. Release your forehead down. Turn your head little side to side. Side to side. Even bring your hands to your lower back. Just to give some love to your lower back. And then find your way back into your belly. This time we are not gonna lift the legs off the floor. We really wanna keep the legs engaged and pressing down. So once again, if you feel like you want to work with outer rotation, feel free to find your Pilates feet. Otherwise, if you need a little bit more space for your lower back, open your legs hip width apart and keep pressing the top of your feet down, rotating the inner thighs up to the ceiling. Try to lift your belly button off the floor, belly button up to your spine, and then extend your arms over your head. Hook your thumbs, and now lift your arms, your forehead off the floor just a little, not too high. Start to bend your elbows to the side, squeeze the elbows into your side bodies, really working underneath the shoulder blades, and extend your arms over your head, hook your thumbs, keep going. Don't lift your upper body too high. We just want to work the upper back underneath the shoulder blades. So keep looking down or diagonally forward so your neck is long. So squeezing the elbows in, lengthening the neck a little more, and extending the fingers out again. Keep lifting the lower belly off the floor. So lifting the belly button up to your spine, activating from the front, legs active, top of your feet pressing down, squeezing the elbows in and extend. Squeeze in, extend, two more, squeeze, and last one. Release. Bend your elbows to the side, forehead down. Relax your legs. Move your hips side to side, side to side. And same thing, you don't need to lift the upper body really high here. First of all, engage your legs. Press the top of your feet down. Again, hover the lower belly off the floor, or at least the feeling like you're lifting the belly button up to your spine. Extend your fingers over your head. Now make a rounded shape. So fingers touching, lifting the elbows to the side. Still long neck. Now start to open your fingers to the side. Make a circle. Bring the fingers to meet your mid-thighs. Lift a little higher, maybe look forward. And again, from the side, bring the fingers together, the rounded shape. From the side, now bring the fingers in. Lift your elbows up. And again, from the side, bring the fingers together. Keep going. So here, you never want to lower the elbows down, the rounded shape. Keep pressing the top of your feet down. Working with long neck. You can just work on your upper back. Or if you have a lot of flexibility and you want to come a little higher, feel free to come up a little higher and lower. A little higher. All the dancers out there. If you're working with bigger extensions, if that's something beneficial for you, go for it. Nice. Let's do one more. Release. Right away, hands under your shoulders. And push yourself to your child's pose. Move your hips side to side. Release your forehead down. You can actually try to bring your forehead a little closer to your knees. And then set the hands onto your lower back. Like you have back pockets. So you can really press the hips down. Around your spine a little more. You keep moving side to side. You just find stillness. Rounding a little more, maybe lifting the forehead a little higher up to your knees. pressing the hips down. And once you're ready, start to roll up vertebra by vertebra. Rotate the shoulders back and down. Nice. Now find a comfortable seat. You can sit on your heels or simple cross-legged. Anything works for you. And let's do one last thing. Work on the arms a little bit. Ballet arms, these one legs, one arms are one of the best back workouts. I know you can really tone and strengthen your arms just with some moves, some ballet moves. So first, find this rounded shape. Make sure the lower back is long. You are really rotating the shoulders back and down, opening your shoulders, hocking your ribs in. So really gently, like letting the ribs melt down. Lifting from your navel, lengthening the lower back. Now, around your fingers in, like you're hugging a big tree. The fingers are about the same height than your belly button, and then open your arms out to the side. So from the front, you are lifting your elbows up, relaxing the shoulders down. It looks like your arms are straight because the elbows are in line with your shoulders, but from the side, it is a rounded shape. So you really work behind your back. Shoulder blades are moving down into the side, so the back is really wide. You have a good shoulder blade support, and you are really activating your side bodies as well. Now just bring your fingers together and open. Nothing changes in your back. Fingers together and open. And together and open. Open, together and open. Bring the fingers together. Now lift the fingers overhead. Keep this rounded shape. Shoulders down. Hug your ribs in. And lower to the height of your belly button. Lift up and lower. Long free neck. And lower. Lift up and lower. One more. And lower. Release the hands down so you really feel like how you can hold your back. You use your whole back to move your arms. The movement of your arms is starting from the back, not from the shoulder, underneath the shoulder blade. So the arms are moving from the back. So now when we come to the swan arms, so really think like the arms are moving from your back. Just relax your arms. And first start to lift your, press the shoulders down, start to lift your elbows up, and in the end, your wrist, your fingers. You come down, same thing, elbows down, fingers are delayed. Again, start from your elbows, pressing the shoulders down, a long neck, and then elbows down, fingers delayed. So really try to move your arms from your back. Your neck is long and free. Your ribs are hugged in. Your collarbones are wide open. You're lifting from the lower core and just working your back mainly. Arms are soft, so you're articulating the elbows up first, and then the elbows are down first, and elbows up first, and down first. So you really try to work your back here. So you really widen your back, elbows up first, and then soften down. Elbows up first, shoulders down, and now you wanna grow taller when you lower down all the time, shoulder blades staying down on the knees, and you are making your back wide, lengthening the neck. And you can always go one arm at a time and lower. Articulation, one of the best practices for your back. And then you can add on some speed and up and lift and up. Maybe one arm goes higher and up lifting the other, lowering the other, whatever feels good. You can bring your arms parallel line with the floor and just moving your elbows. So it's always starting from your elbows. Your wrist and your fingers will follow, articulating, making this wavy movement and really working the arms from your back. I already feel my back and my shoulders pretty well worked out. So you can really tone your arms just with some articulation, some arm movements, and especially your back. Always think like the arm movement is starting from your back. Yeah, that's about it. Slightly different practice, really about floor bar. So if you're a dancer, it's easy, you get it. If you're not, it's still something good to work with, like slightly different muscle groups, those deep turnout muscles and articulation, different kind of movement can be really healthy. I always like to mix and match. So yeah, let me know how this worked for you. Did you like it? Did you get anything out of it? I hope so. Yeah, take a final savasana, a little time to relax before you leave your practice, and always a pleasure to share practices with you guys. Hopefully see you soon. Namaste.